Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Taurus, you are up for the 2022 Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Now that I got that out the way. All right, Taurus. So, as I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it is not your story, don't try to make it fit. One thing that I was picking up with the energy as I was preparing the cards and doing the pre-shuffles and everything, because I have a lot of decks here, is that you will be really, and I can't emphasize this enough, underline, bold, italicize, biggest font ever, really focused on money in 2022. And more than likely, some of you will have multiple jobs as you're bringing in the money, is what's happening. That's the energy that I'm picking up. As in, 2022 will be a very stable year for you. Now, this comes with the caveat. One thing that I noticed when I was going through the energy is that romance may come into play for some of you, and you may not accept it because you're more focused on the money. And there's this old saying that, I don't know if you've seen the movie Mahogany, I've talked about it before, but one thing that he said to her, he was like, success means nothing if you don't have someone to share it with. Now, everyone's life is different. I was actually having this conversation with my mother yesterday because we were talking about some things, and she was like, my biggest wish for you is that you find someone and all this. And I'm like, Mother, it is not that serious. Being single is fine. Being alone is fine. It's whatever. It doesn't bother me like that. Oh, but no, it's not meant for people to be alone, and everyone should have someone. And I'm just like, oh gosh, here we go. And that's the thing. So for me, in my mindset, I'm honestly fine with being single. I'm not opposed to being in a relationship if anybody's interested. But, in all seriousness, I'm fine with being single. It's not that huge of a deal. I think I did a episode on this. I'm pretty sure 40% of the U.S. population is actually single. They're not married. So, and you can look up the stats and stuff. So for me and a bunch of other people who are single, it's not that big of a deal. For other people, like my mother, who's been married to the same man for almost 50 years now, it may be a big deal to her. For you, Taurus, romance may come along while you're making all of this money. And while you're working really hard and you're seeing all of the success. Because some of the other energy I had noticed was recognition for what you do. I actually received 2 confirmations for that when I was doing the pre-shuffle with all the decks. And if you're fine with your success on your own, don't feel like you have to settle down just to please other people or because you have something in your mind that has been put on you, or that people have tried to put on you, that you have to be with someone. You can't be successful and single, that it just doesn't look right. You have to do what's right for you. Everyone is different. What I want, you may not want. What you want, I may not want. So keep that in mind. For those who are interested in romance, just while you're working hard in 2022 and making your money and being recognized for your gifts and for your talents, because you'll have some new ideas in 2022, some that will possibly make you a lot of money. And it will require a lot of your time, especially if you're an entrepreneur or something like that. If you want the romance, find a way to fit it in if romance knocks on your door. Don't dismiss it by saying, oh, I don't have the time. Well, my granny used to say, when it comes to people calling other people, she's like, people call who they want to call. And I'm saying to you, if someone wants to make time, they'll make time. Regardless or not, they're going to make the time. So don't say, oh, well, I don't have the time because I'm doing this or I'm doing that. I have all these jobs and everything else. If you want to make the time, you'll find a way to make the time. For others of you, I was picking up some energy that you may actually step into money through romance, where you meet somebody who is wealthy and their background, their resources help you towards something that you may want to do, where you may have had all of these ideas, but you didn't have the resources before, and you meet someone who has the resources and they are willing to lend those resources to you. Or not even a point of lend, it's just you gain access to those resources due to the circles that you now would travel in. For example, and I'm just making this up, let's say that you wanted to start a nonprofit organization and you meet someone who's wealthy and you're in a relationship with this individual. You don't even have to ask that individual for any money. I'm sure if this individual has friends or associates, if you start a nonprofit and you're traveling in new circles with this new person that you met, they have people who have money that could possibly donate to your nonprofit that may want to give to a charitable cause. And I'm just using that as an example. So it could be a thing of, you may not have the resources, but you have the ideas. But due to a new romance with someone who has the resources, that then brings the resources to you, which then lifts up your status and stability. So there could be some of that going on too. But the biggest thing I was picking up was a ton of work, like a ridiculous amount of work in 2022. And I feel like you'll be really happy that all of this work is happening and that all the money is coming in. At the same time, you just have to do well to juggle it. So that's the pre-shuffle energy from all the cards. Now, I'm about to pull 12 cards from my Angel Wisdom Tarot deck. I will pull 4 cards from the Kipper deck. I will pull 1 card from the Angels of Atlantis Oracle deck. And I will pull 2 cards from the Divine Doors deck. And if need be, I will do clarification cards from my Essential Tarot deck. So I say I have a lot of decks here. So this is going to take a minute. You might want to fix something to drink or fix something to eat and just sit back and we'll get started with this. All right. May I have the energy for Taurus for the year of 2022? May I have the energy for Taurus for the year of 2022? May I have the energy of Taurus for the year of 2022. Also, Taurus, I see that some investments could be paying off, where something that you may have invested in this year or possibly even in 2020. Some of those investments may start, you may start seeing the fruits of those investments. They may start to mature in 2022 as well. Some of that could be going on too for some of you. May I have 12 cards, please? And also, speaking of investments, be careful who you surround yourself with in 2022. Don't put yourself in any relationships where it's not equal give and take. So, yeah. May I have 12 cards, please? Thank you. May I have one more card, please? Woo, that flew out. Hold on. Thank you. Wow. Okay, man. May I have another card, please? Taurus, you... 2022 is going to be a really good year for you. And I'm not saying that, just to gas you up or anything like that. I'm telling you the energy is there. So if you aren't seeing stability right now, or if you're feeling kind of shaky about 2022, get out of that mindset so you can start using this energy that is available to you. Because right now, I'm just 2 cards in, and yeah. May I have another card, please? Thank you. Taurus. Wow. Wow. I almost feel like I don't even need to do this reading. I have 4 cards here. Usually I start going through after I pull the 12 cards. I'm just going to tell you what the 4 cards are right now that I have so far. I have the Ace of Pentacles. I have the Queen of Pentacles. I have the 6 of Wands. And I have the Wheel of Fortune. All of this is... What's the name of that song? I don't even know who sings that song. All I do is win, win, win. Who sings that song? I don't even know who sings that song. Taurus. 2022. I almost feel like I don't even need to do this reading. I told you what energy I was picking up at the beginning before I even started pulling these cards. May I have another card, please? Thank you. Wow. You can't make this up. May I have another card, please? Thank you. May I have another card, please? Hold on. I need to organize this. Set this here, set this here. Set this here, set this here, set this here. Okay. May I have another card, please? Something's telling me to take this card, and I'm going to take it. May I have another card, please? Thank you. May I have another card, please? All right, I got 3. Now I have one more card, please. I know what this is. I know what's going on. Okay. As I'm looking at this, yeah. Remember what I said just a second ago? Be careful who you tell about, like when I was talking earlier about some of you may see some of your investments starting to mature that you may have invested in back, let's say 2021 or 2020, and you start to see them mature in 2022. And be careful who you tell about that, and be careful who you hang around in 2022. Make sure it's an equal give and take. This last set of cards that's coming out, this is related to what I was talking about then. These last set of cards that are coming out, this is related to that. I knew there was a reason I was supposed to take that 5. Yeah, that's what's going on. All right, Taurus, some of you are getting an upgrade. Others of you, if you're already stable and doing really, really well, then take it and multiply it. But some of you are straight up getting an upgrade. This is turned into a money reading. There is a ridiculous amount of pentacles out here. There's a ridiculous amount of fire energy out here. So, as I said before in the beginning, first card that came out is Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is earth energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Ace of Pentacles is about a brand new start. Also, Ace of Pentacles can be about the purchase of a new home, a new vehicle. Pentacles relate to the 3D. So anything in the physical world. Also, Pentacles can be about health, too. Now, as I always say, I'm not a licensed physician or medical anything. I'm just the person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. If you've been having some health issues, don't be surprised if you start to feel better as the year progresses, as it starts off in 2022. Also, there may be some career opportunities happening as well, which leads you into this new start. Whatever it is that's going to be happening in 2022, one of the energies you're going to be in is the Queen of Pentacles. That was the second card that came out. As it says at the bottom, the Queen of Pentacles is generous, practical, gracious, materialistic, the ability to make anything more beautiful, a love of family and home. Be practical about how you proceed. A love of art and beauty, a sensible approach. So the Queen of Pentacles is very stable. The Queen of Pentacles is also nurturing. She's actually, I would say she's second to the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the most nurturing card out of all the queens. And with the Queen of Pentacles, she's very on top of her finances. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. You can be a male in Queen of Pentacles energy. There is no gender in tarot. On top of that, something that's going to happen for you in 2022 will bring you recognition, whether it's recognition on the job, recognition in your family, recognition in your relationship, or recognition as a business person or whatever. There's some type of victory, because the card that follows the Queen of Pentacles is the Six of Wands. This is fire energy. This is Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. This, and usually Six of Wands is a public victory where people notice. So when I told you that you will more than likely be upgraded, some people will notice this upgrade. I still go back to what I said earlier. Be careful who you tell about your upgrade. And if you can also, it seems like some of you will be in the spotlight, but if you can keep some things private, do what you can. Now, if you're a public personality, it's more difficult to keep private things private. But if you are a private individual, as in you're not doing something like you're not, and also, oh yeah, I meant to tell you this too, because that came to me earlier while I was going through the cards. Some of you might consider a singing career. Some of you might have been working on a singing career too, as well. And if you've been pursuing a singing career, you will more than likely have some type of success in 2022. So if you're close to giving up, I strongly recommend do not give up in 2022. Don't give up in 2022. Because for the singing career, and like I said, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The energy is there for that to happen, for some type of recognition to happen. Whether it's a record contract, whether it is, and even these days you don't even need a record contract to do well in the music industry. All you need is a hit song. And everything is so democratized now, where if you own your own, like, I don't know if you heard the song, it's an old song, by this rapper named Kaya, My Neck, My Back, which is kind of nasty. But for that song, she still makes money off that song because she wrote the song, she produced the song, it was off of her record label, and it was a hit. And I mean, she's had other songs that were hits, but nothing to the level of My Neck, My Back. The My Neck, My Back, she still makes money off of. Also, why am I thinking of all these? This other song just came through my head. Why are these specific? There must be a rapper that's listening to this. Because another song that came to mind was Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. He still, which I don't even know if he's still alive. I think he's still alive. But if he's not alive, his estate still makes money off of that song. Baby Got Back still makes song. Also, Salt and Pepper's song, Push It. They still make money off of that song to this day. And obviously, Salt and Pepper has had tons of hits outside of that. But what I'm saying is, even if you end up being a one-hit wonder, if it's a big hit, you'll make money off of that for the rest of your life. You don't even have to sign a record contract for that, as long as you own the publishing. So just think about that too. So if any of you in the music business, if you're thinking about giving up, don't. I'm telling you, do not give up. Which, even if the reading didn't come out the way it is with all of this winning, I would still say don't give up anyway, because success is all about persistence. You have to be persistent. But especially with the energy coming off of this reading, I'm telling you don't give up, because the energy is there for you to receive some type of recognition in 2022. So that's the Six of Wands, and it's usually public recognition. Doesn't have to necessarily be for singing. It could be on the job where you took this new job and they're like, wow, you're really great at this job, and then you're promoted from manager to, I don't know, senior vice president, or you're a regular employee, and then they're like, you know what, you're doing this so well, you need to be a manager, we're going to promote you to manager. And then that leads to other things, because more money comes in and you're able to invest. Maybe you were living paycheck to paycheck, and now you have a little bit on the side to invest in other projects and do that. But regardless, there is some type of recognition coming in off of a new start, is what's happening. Right after the Six of Wands comes the Wheel of Fortune. That's things turning in your favor. Wheel of Fortune is about a fresh new start. So, and it's about positive changes. It can also be about travel too. There could be some type of traveling going on as well. Right after that, the Emperor comes out. That's Aries energy. You could be dealing with an Aries. You could have Aries in your chart. But what I'm picking up is you're just taking control of your life. Mostly the 3D. You're taking control of your money, your stability, your finances. You're making sure the trains run on time. Like, straight dictator mode. You have a universe. How can I articulate this? You have a firm grasp on every part of your physical world where it doesn't, if you don't approve it, it doesn't happen. You're in that type of energy. You're like, if I don't sign off on it, then it's not happening. That's the type of energy you're in. With this emperor coming out and with all of this other stuff, I honestly feel like you're going to be in the energy where you do not want to delegate things. You don't want to delegate things to other people. Meaning, going back to the investment thing, you might have a money manager, but you're watching everything the money manager does. They can't make any investments. They can't just say, oh, well, I'm about to invest $20,000 and if it goes good, it goes good. If it goes bad, it goes bad. No, you will either have it set up that they have to notify you right before they decide to make the investment for you, or you won't be dealing with the money manager and you will be dealing with all the investments yourself. You would just rather deal with it yourself. And there aren't any checks that go out unless you have reviewed them and signed them yourself. It's not a thing of, oh, well, this automatically goes out to such and such, or this automatically goes out to this business or this entity. No, if you don't review it and sign off on it, the check isn't going out. You're going to be very, very, very detailed about anything related to your finances. That's what I'm picking up. The card that followed the Emperor, which is also fire energy, is the Two of Wands. And it's about taking the next steps, is what it says, bold and ambitious choices, partnering with others who share your dreams, expanding your plans, continuing to move forward. Now, with these first 6 cards, this dovetails into what I was talking about earlier with the last 6 cards. When it's saying partnering with other people, as you are upgrading, as you are flourishing, as you are expanding, as you are growing, you are outgrowing certain people. Like I said at the beginning, you be careful who you tell things to as you continue to expand, as you continue to grow, as you continue to make money. Because these last 6 cards that I'm about to read to you is all about letting go of those old circles, is what it is. The card that followed was the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is a lack mentality. This isn't your mentality. All you're doing is winning right now. That's not your mentality. You may still be surrounded by some people who have that mentality. You also, Five of Pentacles can also be the feeling of left out in the cold. Now that you're expanding, you may not have things in common with people that you once had things in common with. So you have to move on and go your separate ways and let it go. And those people may feel left out in the cold. You're walking away, which the next card is the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Some of your friends or some of your associates or some of your whatever in your orbit could be a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. Because Eight of Cups is walking away. The next cup is the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. That's what that person is walking away towards when they walk away. When they're leaving things behind, they're walking towards the ninth cup to get their wish fulfillment. You want more in life. As you have started to expand and grow, you have noticed and you will notice that the things that you want, other people, some of the other people in your orbit don't necessarily want. And that's not a bad thing. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that you're looking to expand even further. And that's why that's why you will be walking away. Because you want people who will help you grow. And that's where you're at. After you've grown, you don't want it to be on a level where you go backwards. You want to only keep going forward. That is what you're looking to do. You only want to go forward, not backwards. And because of that, you're making the decision to leave certain jobs, certain family, certain friends, certain lovers, certain whatever that you may feel will stop your growth behind. The next card is the Devil card. And again, that's what I'm talking about. You're walking away from anyone that you feel will stop your growth. And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want any type of codependency where people are just dependent on you. You don't want to be in relationships. Again, equal give and take is going to be a big thing in 2022. And you want to be in relationships, whether it's friends, whether it's job, whether it's family, whether it's love. Whatever type of relationship you're in, you want it to be equal give and take. You do not want a relationship where it will be codependent, where someone is constantly depending on you to be the answer to their problems. Because that's not your job. And in 2022, as you are ascending, as you are moving forward, as you are bringing in all of this stability, all of this recognition, all of these wins, all of this money, all of this positive energy, all of these new ideas, all of this expansion, you don't want to be tethered to anyone that will be a weight on your life. Now, let me add a caveat to that. With the Devil energy too, you don't want to become too full of yourself, where you started doing really, really well and your status has changed, and then you're just like, oh, I can't even talk to this person anymore, when that person hasn't even done anything to you. You don't want to be in that energy. It can't be a thing of where in 2022 you change tax brackets, and you might have a friend or family or whatever that's in a lower tax bracket, and you're like, well, I'm in the new tax bracket now. I have a Centurion card. They barely have a Visa. All this other stuff. We don't need to associate anymore. I'm not saying be in that type of energy. If that person who's in a different tax bracket from you still brings 100% when they deal with you, and they're looking to move forward, and they're not taking from you, and they're not expecting you to solve all of their problems, and they are being a good cheerleader as well, because you want to have friends that can cheer you on just like you want to cheer people on. And going back to the ego thing, you don't want to be up on your high horse so high that it's like, oh, I'm so successful, I can't give someone a compliment. I can't say good job. Even if someone got promoted, let's say, going back to the manager thing, let's say you change tax brackets where you're making 6 figures now. You have a friend who may have been working, I'll just say at McDonald's, and they went from regular, cashier to assistant manager and did that. Even though you might make double or triple what they make, you don't want to be in that energy like, oh, well, I'm too good or I'm too big to give someone a compliment or to say, oh, you made assistant manager, you better do the damn thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in that type of energy where you can't give someone a compliment, where you can't praise someone because you may feel that it's beneath you because you've ascended so high. So remember to stay grounded is what I'm telling you. All right. Now, the next card that came out is the Eight of Pentacles. All of this money. Eight of Pentacles is about working and perfecting your craft. Again, for some of you who are dealing in the arts, especially music, because music keeps on jumping out at me. This is going to be the year to perfect your craft. And you don't have to be a singer or a rapper. You can be a producer. You can be a guitar player. You can be a saxophone player. You can be a pianist, a violinist, whatever. You can be a painter too. But music is really jumping out at me for some reason. This will be a good year to perfect your craft so you can learn how to do whatever it is you do very, very well. And something just said to me, it wouldn't hurt to learn how to do something else. I'll give you an example. Lady Gaga, if you know who she is, some people do, some people don't, because not everybody listens to the same music. But Lady Gaga knows how to play, I think it's 5 or 6 instruments. It's some ridiculous amount. She knows how to play a lot of instruments. She doesn't just sing. Mariah Carey, she is, in my eyes, she's more of a songwriter than she is a singer. Most of her number one hits, Mariah Carey wrote. So if you're a singer, let's say you're not a rapper. Usually with rappers, for the most part, they write their own stuff. But let's say you're a singer, but you're not really into the songwriting part. You might want to learn how to start writing some songs. Let's say that you know how to write the songs and you know how to sing, but you don't know how to produce. Maybe you want to learn how to produce as well. Maybe you want to learn about engineering. Maybe you want to learn about marketing. Maybe you want to learn about distribution, on how to get your stuff on platforms. Maybe you want to learn about public relations. Whatever it is, you will master your craft in 2022 as well as other things. This is the opportunity to master your craft and then some. There's something in the Bible, I forgot how it goes. It's something to the effect of everyone is given a talent. And if you use the talents you are given, you will be blessed with more talents. So if you already got the singing thing down, good. Keep mastering that and then start working on something else. If you have the writing thing down, good. Keep mastering that, work on something else. If you have the painting thing down, good. Keep mastering that, work on something else. But this is going to be about mastering stuff. Also, some of you might even go back to school to master your craft. Maybe you learn how to play the piano by ear. As a matter of fact, Aretha Franklin, when she started out, they tried to teach her how to play the piano, but she didn't want to learn. And then later on, she learned how to play the piano by ear. And then, if I'm not mistaken, she went to Juilliard to get the credentials and stuff. I don't know how that worked out. I was watching an old Aretha Franklin interview. That's why that came to mind. But I feel like that might be the case for some of you, where you know how to play the piano by ear, but you don't have a degree in music, or you don't know the history of music. And not saying that you have to be successful. I'm just saying that in 2022, you may have these new ideas and this new passion where it's like, wow, I know how to play the piano, but let me learn the classical way, or let me learn the history of the piano. Let me learn this, let me learn that, let me go back to school, or let me go to school so I can add on to what I already know. It could be some of that. And it doesn't have to be necessarily music. It could be something in business. Maybe you're a successful entrepreneur, but you're like, I don't have a degree, but I'm a successful entrepreneur. You know what? Let me just take a few classes and see if there's anything I learn in these classes. Maybe get an associate's degree. You don't have to do a bachelor's. You could do an associate's or a certificate. Something. It's up to you. You may have that desire to do that. So don't be surprised. All right. The card that followed is the Six of Cups. This is going back to friendships, nostalgia. Like I said before, some of you are going to walk away from old friendships, people that you have known for a very long time, as you are continuing to level up. And I honestly believe it's going to hurt you a little bit, but it's going to be for the best. In addition to that, the Hermit card followed. Some of the people that you've known for a while, they are going to be like, okay, what happened to Taurus? I used to talk to them at least 3 to 4 times a week. Now I only talk to them maybe once every 2 weeks. Because Hermit is Virgo energy, your fellow earth sign. But Hermit is about going within and meditating, being in solitude, and looking for answers. So you may go ghost on some people as you're ascending. Some of you, something just said to me. For others of you, if you get a cash infusion of sudden wealth, because I'm picking up that energy too. If sudden wealth happens, that might be why you go into hermit mode, where you just don't want to deal with anyone. You may get a cash infusion from out the blue, from whatever. Take your pick of whatever it is. A cash infusion can come from many different places. It can come from the lottery. It can come from inheritance. It can come from money owed by the government. It can come from, let's see, what else I'm trying to think. It can come from a gift as well. It can come from a relationship too. It can come from a divorce. But whatever the cash infusion is, if that happens, I could see you going ghost on a lot of people and going within to decide, okay, what's my next move? How do I want to proceed? But that's what I'm picking up. Because right now, all you're doing is winning. Let me go ahead and pull 4 cards from the Kipper deck right quick. What's 4 things that Taurus needs to know for 2020? Wow. And as I split the deck, guess what one of the cards was? Gift. Taurus, some of you might be receiving a gift in 2022. Some of you might be receiving a gift. That gift might be the thing that changes your whole life. And I feel like it's going to be unexpected. Is what I feel like. I feel like it's going to be unexpected. What are 4 things that Taurus needs to know? May I have 4 cards, please? What are 4 things that Taurus needs to know in 2022? Thank you. Yeah, going back to the travel journey. Some of you will be traveling. After you have received some, and thank you. After you receive that cash infusion, some of you may want to travel the world and do that. For others of you, something is saying that some of you might have to travel to get the money, to relocate where the job that pays more is at. So that's going on too. The second card was despair. Taurus, I'm not picking up that as your energy. I'm feeling that's the energy of someone you left behind, is what I'm picking up. Could be your energy. If it is, there is a whole lot of abundance energy to tap into in 2022. So if you're not working right now, don't stay in that despair energy, because the thing about the law of attraction, what you think about, you bring about more of it. Just keep moving forward. Don't stop. Just keep going. And if you have to relocate to get a better job, then so be it. But it's, as I always tell people, an old saying that I heard, nothing very, very good and nothing very, very bad lasts very, very long. Thank you. What card is this? Mature man. So some of you may be dealing with a mature man. That might be where that gift is coming from. Thank you. What card? Gift came out again. Wow. There may be an older man that is going to give you a gift in 2022. I kid you not. And then gift fell out on the Wheel of Fortune card. Again, this isn't going to resonate with every single Taurus listening to this. Obviously, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. What I am saying, let me break it to you like this. For every Taurus listening to this reading, I know that it's not going to happen to every single Taurus. It could, because anything is possible. Impossible things are happening every day. What I will tell you is watch your mindset. If you go into 2022 and you're like, oh, I'll never get a gift from somebody, then the universe is going to be like, okay, you'll never get a gift from somebody. But if you go into the mindset where anything is possible, don't be surprised if some type of gift comes in that changes your life. And also, in addition to that, what I'm being told to tell you is that don't focus on the gift part of this reading, because the energy that is here for you in 2022 is above and beyond what a gift from an individual would give you, if that makes sense. The gift part is like 10% of this. The other 90% is the abundance of the universe and the energies available to you in 2022. Yes, you could receive a gift from a mature man. That is a possibility. However, all of this energy here is what's available to you if you put the work in. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, if you don't do anything and you just, lollygag around, that, oh, all of this magical stuff is going to happen. No, it doesn't work like that. I wish it did. Life would be a lot better for all of us if it did. But that's not the case. And I mean, yeah, you can manifest to that level, but it's rare when it happens that way. The thing is that this is more than likely about the hard work that you put in. And one thing I can say about the sign of Taurus, Taurus is a hardworking sign. Earth signs are usually hardworking signs in general. And I honestly feel like a lot of this abundance in 2022 is based off of the hard work that you've already put in previous years. I also feel something just said to me, overnight success, for some of you going back to the public recognition, where some people will start to think that you are an overnight success in 2022, but what they don't realize is that there was a time when you were in despair. There was a time when you didn't know how you were going to pay your rent. There was a time when you didn't know how you were going to put food on your table. There was a time when you didn't know how you were going to put gas in your car. There was a time when you didn't know how you were going to keep your lights on. But all they're seeing is the recognition right now with all of this abundance and all this leveling up. And they're like, oh, Taurus did it overnight. But you know, and those who are really, really close to you know, that that's not the case, that you're not an overnight success. This is work that's already went in for many, many years, is what this is what I'm picking up. So yeah. Those are the 4 things from the Kipper deck. Let me go ahead and take 2 cards from the Divine Doors. Wow. And these 2 cards fell out as I knocked them. Okay. Wow. You know what? When I tell people the cards are the cards. And when the cards want to come out, they will come out. I kid you not. I picked up the deck of the Divine Doors deck and I blew the cards, because you do that to get the old energy off, which really you do it with tarot decks, but I do it with all my decks. And you knock the cards to shake the energy too. I knocked the cards and these two cards fell out. And when I tell you what these two cards are, you're going to fall out. I kid you not, because I'm blown away. First card is Nomad. What did I say about travel? What did I mention? I mentioned I have 3 travel confirmation cards here. What did I say about travel earlier? Nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside. So take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. Some of you will be traveling in 2022, period. You can take that to the bank. Some of you, as in traveling, I'm not talking about, if you live in Florida and you live in Tallahassee, you go down to Miami for the weekend. I'm not talking about that type of traveling. I'm talking about, as in if you live in Tallahassee, you may pick up and go to Los Angeles. And then after that, you're going to be like, oh, well, Los Angeles was cute. Let me go to Tokyo. All right, well, Tokyo was nice. Let me go to Sydney, even though they're showing out in Australia, but these are minor details. But, it seems like you just ready to be a jet setter is what I'm picking up. It's almost something just said to me now, and take what resonates. Some people might be living out of their suitcases, if that makes sense. And that might make sense for somebody who has a job. Going back to the music thing, I don't know why. If you are pursuing a career in music and you blow up, be ready to travel and be ready not to stay in one place too long. And what I mean by that, one thing, I think it was Beyonce. Who was it? Or was it Janet Jackson? It was somebody. And they were talking about how they traveled around the world, but they never really got to see any of the cities. It's like they go in, because mind you, when you go to do a concert in a city that you're in, you're not there to sightsee. You're going in to perform at an arena. You have to make sure your choreography is right. You have to make sure the lighting is right. You have to make sure this is right. You have to make sure that is right. You have to get your rest, because obviously you have to give your all when you go up on stage to give your performance and everything else. So with all of the stuff required to make sure that the show is the best show possible in that city at that time, you don't have a lot of free time to go traveling around the city itself to see things. For others of you, you just may have a different type of job that may require you to travel. You may be a sales rep and you just may have to travel doing face-to-face stuff, which, yeah, a lot of people are doing, Zoom and all of that stuff over the internet. But I honestly feel for some of you, you may have to travel for your job. And if that happens, be ready, because you're going to be on the go. You're going to be going from place to place, living out of your suitcase. So just be ready for that. The second card, and also with the traveling, going back to the sudden cash infusion, some of you may make the decision that you just want to not work for a month and go on a sabbatical. Where you're like, you know what, this money came in, I'm not working for all of, and I'm just going to pick a month. I'm not working for all of April. Or I'm not working for all of May, because May is Taurus season. I'm not working for all of May. I'm taking my whole birthday off. I'm going to this city. I'm going to that city. I'm going to this country. I'm going to that country. That's it. Some of you might be in that energy where you just decide to go on a sabbatical. But some of you will be doing a heavy, heavy, heavy amount of traveling. And I honestly feel this isn't just going to be by plane. You will be going by plane, train, bus, car, subway, donkey. Donkey just came to take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Donkey just came to me. Some of you actually might be traveling on a donkey. Whatever that's about. I don't know. All right. Second card is Trust the Universe. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. The timing's not yours, but the universe at play. This is saying trust the universe. Again, going back for some of you who I'm going to go back to this despair thing. If some of you feel like you are losing hope in that something's not working out the way that you want it to work out, trust the universe. Everything happens for a reason. It's about divine timing. I know that we want things to happen when we want them to happen, but the universe also has other plans. Sometimes the universe needs you to learn a lesson before it takes you to the next step. Trust the process. Trust the universe. Trust the divine. That's the card that came out. And clearly someone needed to hear it. All right. And I have one more card to pull, which is going to be from the Angels of Atlantis Oracle deck. See what we have here. What is the message? What is the Oracle message for Taurus for 2022? What is the Oracle message for Taurus for 2022? Luck is on your side is coming to mind right now. That's just something that randomly came into my head. Luck is on your side. What's the Oracle message that Taurus needs to hear for 2022? What's the message? Thank you. Actually, two cards came out. Friendship and Earth Force. All right, so you have Angel Raphael and Angel Uriel. Let me get my book right quick. All right, Raphael, Earth Force. Raphael lovingly suggests that you are in need of grounding. What did I say earlier? What did I say earlier on that ego part back probably about 15 to 20 minutes into this reading, where you ascend so much, you need to stay grounded? I mentioned that. Just rewind it back and you can see that I brought that up. So it's funny that this card came out. But let me get back to this. Raphael lovingly suggests that you are in need of grounding. Here, he reminds you of the beautiful energies that course through the centers, like the Glastonbury Tor, the heart chakra of the world. If you have been moving too fast, physically or emotionally, as a consequence of stress, take a moment to breathe and find stillness and to connect with Mother Earth. Gaia is always present to hold you and help you. And just like unconditional motherly love, she gives account of who you truly are in all of your beauty and purity. Let Gaia hold the stress for you and all will be well. So I want to add on to that, especially on those who will be traveling in 2022. I honestly feel that when something jumps off for you that requires you to travel, like you're doing 3 cities a week or 2 cities a week or whatever, and stand-up comedy is coming to mind too. Whatever it is that will require you to travel, because it takes a toll on you physically, traveling all over the place, living out of your suitcase. It takes a lot. You're going to need to ground yourself so you don't get stressed out. So keep that in mind too. Also, with friendship, let me pull Uriel. Friendship. Our relationships signify part of the deeper fabric of our lives as they evolve through our life's growth. Uriel wishes you to know that the rapport you have with some of your friends is changing at this. what did I say for 2022? I'm going to start over again. The cards when they come out, they come out. Our relationships signify part of a deeper fabric of our lives as they evolve through our life's growth. Uriel wishes you to know that the rapport you have with some of your friends is changing at this time in order to reflect the changing inner core processes that are evolving within you. These changes are very natural, and Uriel asks you to surrender all your feelings to the notion of companionship offered by this exquisite angel. Indeed, the 12 angels of Atlantis will watch over you and your relationships and will help all of you to make easy love-filled transitions. At the same time, be ready to receive new friendships that mirror the many interests blossoming through your creative outpouring. Taurus, you can't tell me that this reading wasn't on point. I mean, I got to pop my collar on this one. I'm just saying. When I tell you that all of these cards flowed together and the message is as clear as daylight, this message is as clear as daylight. Everything that I mentioned throughout the reading was wrapped up towards the end with the divine doors and the Angels of Atlantis oracle cards. In the Kipper deck. Everything I said through the tarot card reading was pretty much confirmed through these. This is the energy that's available for you in 2022. It's just the point of you having an optimistic, positive attitude, a hard working attitude where you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to believe and trust the universe. All of this is here for you. And based off of this, all you'll be doing in 2022 is winning. All you do is win, win, win. And I think that's what I'll title this. All you do is win, win, win. That's what 2022 is about. So Taurus, that is all I have for you. kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.